Hey, welcome to Hey We're Talking. It's me, Scotty D. Got Derek J. Tant in the house.
What's up, Scott? How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. We are without Bob, and we'll go into detail about what's going on with Bob on Wednesday, but he's not here. We've been...
Yes, the facts are pending concerning Bob. We'll figure it out for next episode.
We will.
I guarantee it.
It is a guarantee. I can tell you that Wednesday's show you're not going to want to miss because we go into some interesting topics, I think. I feel like we will.
In the future.
Yes. We're getting really good at predicting what we're going to do on future shows, and I like it. Usually it's Wednesday. We know what we're going to do. We know what we're going to do on Wednesday, on Monday, all the time. Somehow that works Wednesday out. So before we get going...
Who wants coffee? Coffee? Anybody?
Go to newmacoffee.com. Put in the coupon code HWT. Get 20% off. That's Pneuma Coffee, P-N-E-U-M-A, coffee.com. HWT gets you 20% off.
I'm making the coffee! Fresh fire!
See, I nailed them all right in a row.
Yeah.
Dude.
A lot more drops than on the Wednesday show.
I feel like I'm going to cut back on Wednesday on the drops.
Okay.
Anyway. All right. So Derek has been actually pushing this topic for a while. Like every time we say, okay, what do we want to talk about? Derek usually goes, hey guys, you know what I think we should do is we should do like a music Monday and talk about music. And I'm always really hesitant because I told Derek before we started doing the show, I do listen to new stuff, but I don't like glom onto it and be like, yeah, I love this new music, but I don't explore music that often. It happens in little spurts.
You should though. I mean,
I like it when I listen to it.
You've got the audio equipment. You got you some nice headphones.
I know.
Get you some nice speakers, man. That's the perfect way. There's no better time ever to be able to do this. The listening equipment is great, and you have access. There's YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. It's all out there.
Yeah.
All your favorites are there. You can listen to, and so much more. You can just go down. You can spend hours exploring new music, new bands, new artists.
When I do it, see, the time that I usually end up doing it is when I tell myself I want to go to bed and I'm like, oh, I'm going to listen to a couple of songs before I hit the sheets. And then I sit on the edge of the bed and I go down it's like 2 or 3 hours down the sinkhole of new music. And then I forget about all of it because I go to sleep.
Well, that's what your history button's for.
I'm not going to go back and search my history. But I will tell you, just as far as the music is concerned, there are things that I like to go back to. I will say this. I did learn that when I was younger, I did not like classic rock very much. Mm-hmm. And a couple years ago, I just started saying, I'm going to listen to some of this stuff and see if I like it. And I loved it. So I'll just find like playlists that are just loaded with like 70s and mostly 70s kind of classic rock. And I was surprised how much I love that stuff. I mean, I really, really enjoyed it. So I'll go back to things that I was kind of sheltered from as a kid. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. There's a ton of music out there. I mean, there's tons of bands that we're familiar with that we hear, like the classic songs, the stuff that you hear on the radio that's played. But a lot of these bands have put out multiple albums. You know, look at Rush.
Right.
You know, you hear maybe 3 or 4 of their songs.
And that's all I can stand, by the way. It's the ones they play on the radio.
They're just an example, but like Boston.
Right.
Boston's got like 2 or 3 songs that you hear in major rotations on classic rock radio, but they got so much more. Just like Journey.
Yes.
There's so much more. Van Halen, whatever, Led Zeppelin.
Right.
There's plenty. So everyone there's all these bands that most people nowadays associate with 1 or 2 songs.
Right. Right.
But they put out dozens of albums, and you can really kind of go down that rabbit hole on YouTube or on iTunes, Spotify.
Yep.
And listen to an album.
Get into those deep cuts.
Yeah, the deep cuts.
Yeah.
And that's really, sometimes they're stinkers. Sometimes you're just going to get a lot of filler, and sometimes you might find some gems.
Yeah. You know, I will say this too about older music, especially like that 70s stuff and probably prior. They were able to really experiment on those albums. There was just so much more, I think, freedom, and music sounded different. I'm not going to just sit here and like crap all over the new stuff, but seriously, the truth is, there's tons of stuff out. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos about this where they're talking about how all the music that's coming out now is very, very close to the same. There's some formulas that they follow, especially in pop music, to try and get, airplay. And there's just certain things they got to hit. There's actually a guy who's written like 90% of pop songs. He's like the guy that's in charge of basically what people listen to. I'll have to find that information. We can talk about it on another show. But back in those classic rock days, like songs went longer than 3 minutes and stuff like that. I mean, it's different. So when you listen to things like that, especially, have you ever tried to take a song like that? And I think your son's probably a little bit different. He'll probably listen to stuff like that. But like younger kids will hear music from back then, and it's almost like they get bored if it goes longer than 3 minutes. They're like, this song's boring.
John is he's aspiring to be a musician himself.
Yeah.
And he listens to everything, but he's trying to learn and play music on the piano.
Yep.
And so he's taken a great interest, and his new favorite song he's trying to play is Jerry Lee Lewis's Great Balls of Fire.
That's a great song.
So he's even doing the doodly doos on the piano.
I actually he put a video out. I watched it. I listened. Did you like it? It was good. Yeah, I gave it a thumbs up. Of course.
Well, good.
He comes from good stock. You guys got some musicians in the family, so there you go. All right, I'll stop. But he's not gonna.
But he's not gonna try to ride on.
No.
His Uncle Brandon's coattails.
No, I'm saying that there's.
Although Brandon will be a good resource for him,
right.
for
I'm just
for
saying
help.
that it's in your blood, man. The Tant's got some musical ability.
By the way, was it today, Monday?
Yeah. Last
night, Brandon was featured on the ACM Awards.
He was.
Yeah.
Nice. And now, if for some reason we were going back in the past, could we see him on television during these ACMs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you could.
All right, good. I'm gonna go back in time and record those so that I can see. Cheryl actually asked me. I saw a commercial for ACM, and she was like, "Do you think Brandon will be on that?" And I said, "I don't know, man. I hope so."
He actually will. He
already did. It was amazing.
Yeah, he went to Vegas yesterday. I mean, he went to Vegas last Wednesday, and.
Oh my gosh.
The transparency, guys.
Okay, listen. We're recording this on Thursday, so Brandon will be on
yeah,
Sunday.
He's going to be featured in something on the ACMs on Sunday.
Okay, good.
Which will be the Monday before which this episode is going to come out the day after.
Yeah. So we'll try and find like a YouTube clip of it or something. Hopefully he'll be on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can always count on YouTube for that. Okay, so listen, let's get into the music. Derek, you're going to have some amazing band that no one's ever heard of. I'm just going to tell you the truth. After I watched the Netflix movie The Dirt, I became completely consumed with Motley Crue. Like I could not stop listening to Motley Crue. And I enjoyed it. Now, they've put out some new stuff for the movie. They made some new music. And then I tried to listen to some of their newer albums that I just kind of lost track of. I was like, well, I'm going to go back to the classics. So, but I was really listening to like Motley Crue songs a lot and enjoying them because of the movie. And that, of course, sent me on the whole hair metal path, and I got into some Guns N' Roses. I don't consider Guns N' Roses a hair band. They technically probably were, but do you consider them a hair metal band?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they're crossover, maybe hard rock.
They were just like I felt like they kind of kicked hair metal's butt. They didn't dress up and I mean, they did, but not the same way. I don't know. They didn't dress up like girls. Let's put it that way.
It's still kind of glam.
But they do in the movie The Dirt. They do when Nikki Sixx overdoses. There's just a little thing in the movie you wouldn't know unless you knew the story. But he OD'd at Slash's at a party that Slash was throwing. Slash is on the couch. They don't say it's him, but Slash's girlfriend performed CPR on Nikki Sixx when they called the paramedics. So it's a little known thing, but if you know the story, that's what happened. But in the movie, they don't say, "Hey, there's Slash." They just show this guy that looks like Slash laying on the couch, drugged up as well.
All right. So you've been listening to Motley Crue. Any songs stand out that maybe?
Well, I mean, I like all the girls, Dr. Feelgood, all that stuff was really good. But some of the older stuff like Shout at the Devil and Looks That Kill, those, and Livewire in the movie is kind of like that song. Livewire is the one that they supposedly, that's how they kind of got the whole thing started. So listening to some of the older songs, like the first songs, was good. But listen, I'm going to be honest with you. If you're looking for like really in-depth lyrics and stuff like that, Motley Crue's not that. It's, it's just fun. It's not, it's just something to rock out to. I don't listen to the words. Absolutely. I'm going to be honest with you. I used to think that if I listened to Shout at the Devil, I was going to go to hell, but no, I'm just like, hey, no, they're yelling at the devil because the devil's bad.
Yeah. Shout at the devil!
Exactly.
Shout!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of good bands, the reason that they made that song is they wanted audience participation. So people shout,
Yeah. And it's shocking. I mean, it's the imagery, it's like Slayer, the old, the heavy metal.
That stuff sounds so evil though.
But they're like, we're not, they were like, oh, you guys are Satanists.
Yeah.
And, like the lead singer of Slayer, Tom Araya, he's a Catholic. He's actually a pretty devout Catholic.
Oh my gosh.
But it's like he's like we just picked that. It's like we're just using that as imagery to scare people.
Right.
He was like all these Hollywood types were all against that. It's like we were just trying to scare them and be scary looking. But most bands don't really.
Well, Motley Crue, there are stories that I think it was probably just Nikki Sixx, but they had a pentagram in their name and stuff. But they supposedly Nikki Sixx kind of hooked up with Anton LaVey, the head of the Church of Satan and stuff like that. But that's about the extent of it. None of the other guys were like, "Hey, tell me about your religion of Satan worship. I want to know some more." None of them really got into that.
And even the Church of Satan, they don't believe in like a literal Satan. They believe more. It's just about being humanist.
Could it be Satan?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So tell us about your music, because I know it's going to be way better than my Motley Crue stuff. So let's hear what you got to say.
I listened to this guy. I found him. I was on the internet looking up music, and I found a guy from Canada. His name is Colter Wall.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe that it's going to be this obscure. How did you find this?
I don't know. I just kind of ran across him, but I was trying to find like some like Americana country-ish type people. This dude's like 21 years old.
Yeah.
Skinny as a rail, but his voice sounds like he smokes 2 packs of cigarettes a day, and sounds like he's been drinking whiskey for 50 years, but he's phenomenal.
Okay.
No, I know what I was. How
do you spell his last name, by the way? Just like Wall, Wall?
I think so. Let me
look
that up.
He's got to look it up on his iPhone 6. Hold on, guys.
Yeah.
This might take a while.
It's good. It's good, but yeah, you should probably bring it up on YouTube.
I'm going to. That's why I asked how do you spell his last name?
Oh, well, if you just say Colter, Colter, it should.
T-E-R.
Yeah, regular Wall.
Okay.
Colter, Wall.
I went with the Coltor, like Coltor.
No, it's Ter.
Okay,
Colter Wall, like a wall behind
like build
you.
the wall. Okay.
Yeah. So he's got a song called The Devil Wears a Suit and Tie.
Really?
And it's a cool little thing. He sounds a little bit like Johnny Cash, but his voice is totally unique. I think
at
you'd
21 he
appreciate.
has a voice like that.
You gotta listen. If
I
you
know.
could bring
I'm
up
going to.
Yeah, you could totally.
I
listen
can't
to
play.
that.
I would like to play it on the show, but we can't because then they'll kill the video. So I would
Oh.
like to, but I can't. Thanks a lot, YouTube.
Yeah.
By the way, Coulter, we're trying to promote you, get your name out there. Tell YouTube to cut it out. It's actually the company that whoever produces his albums is the one that'll put a copyright strike on us. All right, so Coulter Wall, and how did you find him?
I think there's a song. Here's the story.
Okay,
There's a song that Bugs Bunny sings in one of the cartoons called "Bury Me Not" on
Yeah.
the Lone Prairie, and he sings it kind of upbeat. And so I actually wanted to hear like a legit version of that song. So I typed that song in on YouTube, and Coulter Wall came up.
Wow.
It's not a song that he's put out on his album, but a lot of these artists do they'll do like a recording session for like a brewery or for a radio station or for iTunes or something like that. And so it was just like, here he is singing the song. I think he sang it in a truck or something like that.
what?
You should hear it, but it's like really good
Okay,
because his voice is incredible.
I think you really like this guy.
I love him.
Are you gonna? Did you
wanna-
tell your
I
brother
wanna
about
date
him?
I don't think so. I should probably send a link. Say, have you ever heard of this guy?
He's gonna be like, yeah, Coulter and I go way back. Wouldn't that be cool? Then you could meet him. You get to meet your
Yeah.
hero, Coulter Wall.
I don't think he's a Nashville guy.
I know. I'm kidding. Canada,
It's like a-
Canada has like especially Western Canada. Like people are really into country music up there. Like
Yeah.
it's huge.
Okay, here's another one
Okay, here
from
we go.
Canada. I'll do one more Canadian one.
How in the world are you finding all this Canadian stuff?
Oh, you'll like you've probably seen this one. It's from there's a band called the Dead South.
Never heard of them.
They're bluegrass
Okay.
ish. The song is called "In Hell I'll Be in Good Company."
Why are all these songs about the devil? Are you
It's
fascinated with the devil?
This is you need to see the video too. The video is
boy.
uniquely shot. It's in and around the Toronto area.
and what's
In
the
Hell
name
I'll
of this
Be-
one? The song
The Debts in Hell I'll Be in Good Company.
in hell. Gosh dang it! What is wrong with you? You're such a paradox.
Okay. We'll go away
Can
from.
you find something that's uplifting that's not about hell?
Yes.
Okay, who?
Let's go to New Zealand.
Oh my
Heavy
gosh.
metal.
Yes.
Heavy metal. There's a band called Alien Weaponry. Now, this band was formed by two brothers when they were 8 and 10 years old.
Oh my gosh.
These boys are actually from Maori descent. You know, these Polynesian tribal folk.
Yeah.
The Maori, Maori,
Yeah.
the Maori warriors.
Okay.
So they
The stuff you come up with is so bizarre.
they're this is actually kind of famous. Now they're like, 18 years old now.
Okay.
They have some songs. They use it. They actually play it in like the Maori language, but there's a song called Kai Tangata.
Okay.
Okay.
Kai.
Yeah. I'm not going to look that up.
Okay.
Just
well,
tell me the story.
it's a good heavy metal song, and they feature like actual Maori, the Maori people in it.
Okay.
Running through the jungle and tattooing their faces and all kinds of cool stuff.
Wait. I don't. How in the world? Like, what are you doing when you find this stuff?
I'm
Like, what
trying
possesses you
find-
to look all over the world for these people?
It's just what comes to me on YouTube sometimes.
Oh, okay. So this is all accidental. Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, I'm trying to find good music. I'll look up like music recommendations for different genres.
Okay.
Like what's some good metal music?
you're always furthering and expanding your like, I don't know what you would call that. You're just an adventurer, Derek. That's what you are.
I mean, sonically, yes. I'm a sonic adventurer.
That is so great. A sonic adventurer. I love that.
Let's change the podcast name to that. We're the Sonic Adventurers.
That or utter tripe. I'll talk about that on Wednesday. I need to find out what the actual word was, but I'll bring it back. All right, listen. Let's wrap it up. Man, Derek, see, you said you wanted to talk about this stuff. Now I understand why. Because you could go on and on about this, couldn't you? That's like when you showed me that like death metal guys that dress up like priests or whatever. What are they, from Sweden or something?
Yeah, Ghost.
Oh my gosh. I tried to listen to it and I was just like, this is not my style of music, unfortunately. All right, listen, go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube and hit the like button, hit that bell. That way you'll always know what kind of weird music Derek is listening to. Save this for our show, by the way. Don't talk about this crap on your own channel. You already got enough subscribers. I'm not even going to tell the name of his YouTube channel because it's his name.
I hardly make videos anymore.
Yes, you do.
This is where I live now.
Derek J. Tant. It's not J on YouTube, though. It's just Derek Tant,
No.
right? Yeah, but we
Derek
do
Tant.
want to keep promoting your channel because I did notice that when I was looking at all the stats, we have a bunch of pipe-related people that like us.
Yeah.
We get, if you go on Apple's podcasts, it'll actually suggest pipe podcasts after us. Like, you might like this. So I'm like, there you go. This is how I met Derek. It's how I met Bob. God bless the pipe.
Pipes.
Unless it gives you cancer. Then we won't
Hooray,
bless
pipes.
it. Hooray, pipes. All right, guys, we'll catch up with you on Wednesday. Like I said, we're going to talk about a number of different things, but we will be talking Flat Earth again. We're not going to make fun of it, but there's a connection to it that we're going to talk to you about, and a bunch of other stuff. Exciting news. Plus, why Bob is not here with us this week. So come back on Wednesday. Until then, we hope that you have yourself an abundance of
Crash